And welcome to Education, Leadership, and Beyond, Surviving and Thriving. My name is Andrew Murata, host of the program, and it is show number 192. Happy to be on with you. Happy to be live on Facebook. Proud member of the Education Podcast Network, or wherever you are listening to this, Voice Ed Radio Canada, iTunes, wherever you are consuming podcasts. Happy to be on with you. Happy to be here today. Keep rolling, friends. Show number 192. We do not have a guest today. We have some information. We have some news. We have some updates. We have some stories. As always, we have some good stuff here on the podcast. If you are watching live, certainly jump in, leave a question or a comment for me, and I would be happy to get you involved in the show. So let's get rolling. Show number 192, approaching that big number 200. Okay, number one on today's list, it is the 30th year anniversary of Success Hotline. And if you know me, you heard about Success Hotline. I've talked about it a lot. I've talked about it a lot with my friend, Dr. Rob Gilbert. And it is the 30th anniversary here, January 22nd. Dr. Rob celebrated that on his hotline. That number is 973-743-4690. Let's see if I can put it in here. 973-743-4690. I've never really jumped in on the comments while I've been doing the show, but there it is. Very cool. Okay. Well, that is the Success Hotline number, and it's the 30th anniversary. So Dr. Gilbert, every day since 1992, has been leaving a 3-minute message about success. It really has been incredible. It has been life-changing for me. I've been calling since 2015, and Dr. Gilbert's become a good friend. Dr. Gilbert has become a mentor, and calling the Success Hotline has kind of changed my life. It's done a number of things for me. You may or may not have heard the story, but he is the one who got me to write the book. He's the one that pushed me to write the book, The Principle, Surviving and Thriving, and then things just kind of took off from there. So if you don't call, I would recommend you give it a try. 973-743-4690. And if you do call, I recommend you keep calling. A couple of highlights, a couple of impactful points, right? Dr. Gilbert has taught me so many lessons over the years, but these are a couple of the ones that have kind of stuck with me. Number one is the 5 SWs. Sometimes it will, sometimes it won't. So what? Someone's waiting. Stick with it. Sometimes it will, sometimes it won't. So what? Someone's waiting, so stick with it. The 5 SWs. Also, E plus R equals O. E plus R equals O. Event plus response equals outcome. It's the R that we are responsible for. So many people get focused up on the event. Oh my God, this happened. Oh my God, this is going on. Oh my God, this happened. It's our response to what happened that is the most important thing. So E plus R equals O. The simple mindset of do more than expected. He has talked about that a lot. That has greatly impacted me. And it's a simple little thing, right? If your assignment is to do numbers 1 through 5, you do 1 through 6 and 7. If your boss wants you there at 7 o'clock, get there at 6:45. All little things that lead to doing more than expected. Good stuff. Act differently than you feel. So just like it sounds so simple, but right, when people are in a bad mood, they blame it. I'm in a bad mood. Act differently than you feel. And I think that's very important. I love that mindset. I love that concept. And we're going to tell a story about energy at the end of the podcast here. We'll tell a story about having great energy. So that's number one, the 30th year anniversary of Success Hotline. Great friend, Dr. Rob Gilbert, I appreciate you. 973-743-4690. Number 2, the World Education Summit. I'm going to try to share my screen a little bit. I'll show the website. Let's see what this looks like. I haven't done this a whole lot on live on the podcast, but here it is. This is the World Education Summit, and I am proud to be part of this. I am proud to have a session in this, and I'm proud to be an ambassador here in the United States for the World Education Summit. It is bringing educators from around the globe, literally around. So this is the website here, worldedsummit.com, and I will stop sharing. And here's the link for you if you want to register. I'm going to put it right here in the chat also. I'm using this stuff here, and let's see here, see if it pops up. Yeah, there it is there. The World Education Summit. Again, it is in March 21st to the 24th. Educators from around the globe. I'm proud to be an ambassador for that. Check it out. And if you want to register, if you want to come, there's my custom link, the bit.ly link there, World Ed Summit registration. And again, I'm an ambassador, I'm a speaker, and just super pumped up, right? If we can get our message out, if we can reach people, but to be able to do it globally, I'm excited. All right, number 3, tomorrow is February 2nd, 2022. So put your thinking cap on, 2/2/22. That's a lot of twos, right? Cool things, a lot of interesting things with all those twos happening. But I put some questions together with tomorrow's date, February 2nd, 2022, right? I just like the numbers there. So I'll challenge you. I'll ask you. I'll make you think. Where are you going to? What are you going to do? Who is going to? And if you fail, if you strike out, if you don't hit your mark on the first try, do you do it on try number 2? Right? That mindset of it's not the amount of times you fail, it's the amount of times you keep on trying. So you try that second time, you try number 2. So where are you going to? Think about all the things in your life. You're putting your energy towards the things that you want to achieve and the things that are important, right? Making the important thing the important thing. Where are you going to? What are you going to do? What are you going to do to get there? What are you going to do when you are there? And all of those steps in between, right? What are you going to do? And who's going to? Who are you bringing along? Who are you impacting? Who are you taking with you? And, you know, who are the people that you are involved with? So who's going to TOO? And lastly, right, it's not one time, it's 2. If it fails, if it doesn't go your way the first time, you put a second time out there, number 2. So I like that. Tomorrow is 2/2/22. Next up on the topic here, topic number 4, Tales from the Hardwood. That is my next leadership book. That is stories from my time as a Division I basketball official. And that is coming out this spring of 2022. Here we go again with those numbers. Tales from the Hardwood. I'm excited. I got about 15 guys that have wrote excerpts, contributions to the book. We have J.D. Collins as part of the book. He is the national coordinator of basketball officials, right? He's the guy who assigns the officials for the NCAA tournament. He wrote an excerpt, right? He's part of it. I loved his excerpt title, Absorb Chaos, Absorbing the Chaos. What a great mindset. What a great thing we do as leaders. And he wrote this to end his excerpt. Absorb the chaos, create calm, and provide hope. I'll say it again. Absorb chaos, create calm, and provide hope. That is some amazingness right there. That is really some leadership mindset. And I'll share it with you today on the podcast. I self-published the book, and I hope you'll support it. That will be in the spring of 2022, coming out. I think it's going to be April. John Feinstein, if you're a sports fan, John Feinstein wrote the foreword. But a number of great refs participated. And it's not a book about officiating. Yes, there's a talk about officiating in there, but it's a book on leadership. It's a book on mentorship. It's a book on persistence and going on that journey of being successful. So Tales from the Hardwood. Okay, last topic here. Energy, right? So many people say, Andrew, you have the energy. You have so much great energy. One of the things Dr. Rob talked about on the book is how to read this book, right? Just the first chapter. How I Raised Myself from Failure to Success in Selling by Frank Becker. How I Raised Myself from Failure to Success in Selling by Frank Becker. And Dr. Gilbert challenged his listeners to read the first chapter once a day for 30 days in a row. Sounds crazy, but it's just the first chapter. Right? It sounds crazy. Like, why? Well, he's trying to get a habit in. He's trying to build that mindset of having energy. So one of my goals here is to do a TED Talk on the story, on this story about having energy, right? It's one of the things I'm blessed with. It's one of the things I got. And this book just kind of talked about it. So I'll tell you the story of the first chapter. And again, the name of the book, How I Raised Myself from Failure to Success in Selling by Frank Becker. So here is the story. So Frank Becker is a minor league baseball player. He's playing in one of the mid-level minor league teams, and he was nervous, right? He was nervous out on the field. So people have a different reaction when they get nervous, right? Sometimes people yawn. Sometimes people get too excited and they're talking too fast. But another thing they do is try to calm themselves, and they try to shut it down a little bit, try to bring it down. Well, Frank Becker did that. He tried to bring it down, and he played with like a slower swagger. He played with, trying to bring it down. And the manager had seen enough, and the manager brought him in and he fired him, demoted him to the lower levels, and he called him the L word. That's right. He called him lazy. Oh, what a shot in the dark to an athlete. He was called lazy. And Frank was kicking his can, as my friend Heidi says, kicking his can down the road. He was upset. He was angry, thinking about replaying the conversation of being called lazy. And he's in those lower level minor leagues, and he's out there playing, saying, I'm better than this. I should be at a better level. And he said to himself, from this moment on, I will never, ever be called lazy again. I am going to play with such an energy, such a just amazing energy that people are just, I'm going to blow them away with my energy. And he played like whether he had fire in his pants. And he just tore at it. He played all out, went all out, and really did well at that minor leagues. They wrote a article about him, and they called him Pep Becker because of all of the pep and all the energy that he brought. And he took that article and he mailed it to the other manager, and he said, thanks for lighting a fire under me. And Frank played so well, he went on to the major leagues, and he became a very successful major leaguer. Frank Becker played for the St. Louis Cardinals. He's a third baseman. Ball gets hit down the third base line. He grabs it one-handed and he flings it underhand to first base, and bam, snaps his ligaments in his elbow. And back then, they didn't have the fancy Tommy John surgery. They didn't have it. He was out of baseball. Wow. So here's what is he going to do? Like many people back then, he becomes a door-to-door salesperson. And he's miserable, and he hates it, and he can't sell anything, and he's just not very good at it. So he goes to take a speaking class, a kind of motivational class by Dale Carnegie. And he's taking this class, and Dale Carnegie he just says to him, he's doing this assignment, and he's talking about these knives, and he's talking about this thing. And he said, hold on, Frank, do you even own these knives? Do you even have them? And Frank's like, no. And he says, have you ever used them? And Frank says, yeah, I tried them a couple of times. He says, well, you don't believe in the product. You don't, even believe in it yourself. How are you going to get someone else to believe in it? He says, you got to get their attention. And he took a chair and he threw it against the wall. And he says, you got to get their attention like this. And do I have your attention? And he certainly did by flinging the chair across the wall. And Frank, in that moment, again, right, the power of a single experience, the power of a single impact, in that moment says, wow, I'm going to become an amazing salesperson by having amazing energy. just like he did out on the baseball field. And from that moment on, Frank spoke to people with heart and belief and energy. And he went on to become, a million dollar salesperson and made millions. And he goes on to tell that story in the book, right? Playing baseball, low energy, bam, becomes a major leaguer with high energy. Sales was terrible, doing awful. Raised his energy level, raised his excitement level, raised his enthusiasm level. And he went on to become $1 million salesperson. Read the first chapter, 30 days in a row. I recommend you do it. It sounds crazy, right? Sometimes you got to be a little crazy to do some crazy things, but it certainly helped me. I've done it, and I recommend that book to you, especially if you are looking to get some more energy in your life and really come off with more energy. So let's review. I went over a number of things. Number one, 30-year anniversary of the Success Hotline, 973-743-4690. I recommend you call Success Hotline. Dr. Rob Gilbert, my friend and mentor, changed my life. And who knew 30 minutes a day could change your life? Number two, the World Education Summit. That link is in the chat here. I'm going to put it in again. And that is the summit for you to register. Educators from around the globe, March 21st to the 24th. Highly recommend to check it out. I'm an ambassador for them. I'm presenting there, and I'm really excited to be part of that. Tomorrow is February 2nd, 2022, 2/2/22. And along those lines, right, got me thinking about the day and the word two and the number two. Where are you going to? What are you going to do? Who's going to? And if you fail, if it doesn't hit the mark, if you don't make the mark, you don't try one time, but you try two. Keep rolling. Tales from the Hardwood, my next book, my leadership book about my time as a Division I basketball official. It is coming out April of 2022. Excited about the project. Excited to get rolling with that. And certainly we'll be doing some shows and some talking about it. And lastly, How I Raised Myself from Failure to Success in Selling by Frank Becker. Great tool to help bring some energy out of yourself and in your interactions with others. So that is all here on Education, Leadership, and Beyond, show number 192. Thank you for tuning in, and leave a question or comment in the chat box. And if I could help you in any way, don't hesitate to reach out at Andrew Murata21 on Twitter. Let's get rolling, friends. Signing off here on Education, Leadership, and Beyond.